Hi there, my name is Beth. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite poems with you. Why don't you come along and join me? Let's take a look at our first poem. This one is Smart by 𝐷𝐿 Silverstein. As I read the poem, please go ahead and read along with me. And if you feel comfortable, go ahead and read out loud with me as well. We're going to practice reading the poems as they're meant to be read, which is out loud. Read with me. Smart by 𝐷𝐿 Silverstein. My dad gave me $1 bill, 'cause I'm his smartest son. And I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters, 'cause 2 is more than 1. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he don't know that 3 is more than 2. Just then, along came old blind Bates, and just 'cause he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes, and 4 is more than 3. And I took the nickels to 𝐅𝐚𝐜𝐿 down at the seed feed store, and the fool gave me 5 pennies for them, and 5 is more than 4. And then I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. All right. Obviously, this is a very humorous poem by the humorous poet 𝐷𝐿 Silverstein. If you've ever read any of his other poems, you'll know that they are really, really funny. So let's take a closer look at this particular poem. First thing we're going to look for is rhyme scheme, or the pattern of rhyming words. Let's take a closer and deeper dive. Join me.
Let's take a closer look at our poem, Smart by 𝐷𝐿 Silverstein. One thing you should notice before we get started is that with poems, things look a little bit different than they do in chapter books. Instead of sentences, we have lines. We call each one of these sections a line of poetry. When we have several lines that are together with a space in between, we call those stanzas. So in this particular poem, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stanzas in this poem. Let's look at the first stanza. And this time we're going to focus on words that rhyme. So let's read it again together, and you can read with me aloud if you would like. My dad gave me $1 bill, 'cause I'm his smartest son. And I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters, 'cause 2 is more than 1. Let's listen carefully and let's listen for rhyming words. My dad gave me $1 bill, 'cause I'm his smartest son. And I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters, 'cause 2 is more than 1. I noticed a couple of rhyming words. Let's see if we can find them. Now, a lot of times in poetry, what poets often do is they will put words that rhyme at the ends of lines. So we're going to focus our attention on the last word in every line of poetry, just in the first stanza. Take a look with me, won't you? All right, so in our first stanza, the last word in the first line is bill. I'm going to look for other words that rhyme with bill. I have bill, son. Does that rhyme? No, it doesn't have the same sound at the end of the word. Let's keep going. Bill, son, quarters, 1. I don't hear anything that rhymes with bill. To record my rhyming words, what I do is I start with the first letter of the alphabet, A. So I'm going to label this word, the last word of my first stanza and my first line. I'm going to label that with a capital A. All right, and I said, okay, well, I didn't hear anything that rhymed with bill. How about son? Son, quarters. Nope. Son, 1. Hey, I think we have a rhyme here. Notice they're spelled differently, but they sound the same at the end of the word. Son, 1. So I'm going to give this a capital B, meaning it doesn't rhyme with bill. But look down here, son and 1. That rhymes, so I'm going to label the word 1 also with a B. Now I've got the word quarters left. Does it rhyme with anything in that stanza? Bill, quarters. No. Sun, quarters. Nope. 1, quarters. Nope. That will get a letter C. So in my first stanza, I've got the rhyme scheme A, B, C, B. And this is a very common rhyme scheme that you'll find in many poems, where every other line will rhyme. In this case, the second line will rhyme with the fourth line. A, B, C, B. Let's look at the second stanza. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he don't know that 3 is more than 2. All right, we'll start with quarters. Give that an A. Lou. Lou and quarters. Does it rhyme? I don't hear a rhyme there, so I'm going to give that a B. How about no? No, Lou, quarters. Does it rhyme? Nope, I don't hear it. How about the next word? 2, no, Lou, quarters. Did you hear a rhyme? Yep, I did too. 2 and Lou. Let's give that a B because it also rhymes with Lou and 2. And if you're not sure if a word rhymes, go ahead and watch yourself say some words in the mirror. And if you look at yourself when you're saying the words Lou and 2, you'll notice that your lips kind of pucker out in the same way, making the same sound at the end of those words. Now it's your turn. See what you could do, see what pattern you could find for stanza number 3. Just then along came old blind Bates, and just 'cause he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes, and 4 is more than 3. Do you remember how to start this out? I'll get you started. Okay, what would come next? C, Bates. Does it rhyme? Nope. I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to look at my third line here. Dimes, C, Bates. Do any of those words rhyme? Nope. I'm going to give it a C. How about 3 dimes, C, Bates? Did you hear anything that rhymed? Yes, 3 and C. I'm going to label that with a B, meaning that they match. Are you seeing a pattern? Yes, there is a pattern. Here's my pattern again, A, B, C, B. Why don't you go ahead and finish off the poem and see if Shel Silverstein kept up with his rhyme scheme throughout his entire poem. Pause this video if you need to give yourself extra time to work on finishing up your rhyme scheme. Okay, let's take a look. Does yours look like this? Combs, store, them, 4 rhymes with store. How about the last one? Dad, cheeks, head, speak rhymes with cheeks. Okay, so all throughout this poem, Shel Silverstein kept up his rhyme scheme of A, B, C, B. The second line rhyming with the fourth line. Again, a very common rhyme scheme. I hope that you will keep reading this poem throughout the week and see what else you can find. Happy reading.